Good morning. In this section, we would focus on Kurukshetra edition December. This edition specifically focuses on entrepreneurship and the opportunities for entrepreneurs in India, mainly in the rural area. So, to begin with, we start with the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship that looks across the demand supply gap of the skilled workers and the government initiatives under Skill India, where programs have been initiated for workers mainly for the healthcare sector and others as caregivers. Now, the intention is to unlock the human potential, boost productivity, have aspirational jobs and entrepreneurship opportunities for individuals, businesses, and for economy. So, for this, threefold approach has been taken into account. One is empowering the individuals, the second one is to have a learner centered approach, and third is to create aspirational job, and these are the three pillars under which the ministry actually intends to have an entrepreneur ecosystem being built. So some of the important programs include PM Janjati Nyay Mahabhiyan. Now this is mainly for the tribal development and the tribal groups to uplift mainly the PGVTs, which is the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Now the next is Rashtriya Udyamita Vikas Pariyojana. This has been part of the PM Swanidhi beneficiary, and under this, the idea is to provide them mentorship and support, of which 40% is female participation. The next scheme is Strive. Strive means skill strengthening for industrial value enhancement, and this scheme is again for entrepreneurship awareness, development, mentorship, training in ITIs, that is the Industrial Training Institutes, and with this, the aim is to train nearly 45,000 individuals for targeting the entrepreneurship awareness programs. The next scheme is Sankalp. Sankalp is skill acquisition and knowledge awareness for livelihood programs through MSDE, that is the Ministry of Skill Development, and this again focuses on training individuals with specific targets. Again, there are small, micro and business centers which have been established in 6 temple towns: Haridwar, Bodh Gaya, Kolur, Puri, Pandharpur and Banaras, and these are the centers where entrepreneurship has been promoted through various model enterprise systems. Similarly, there have been projects carried out at Central Jail Varanasi, Model Jail Nari Bandi, Niketan in Lucknow, and they are targeting nearly 600 individuals. Fair price shop owners have been trained for capacity building programs. There are similar programs for Northeast Educational Institutional Development, and the nodal agency for Sfurti program, which is the scheme for the fund for regeneration of traditional industries, has been launched by MSMEs to modernize the traditional industries through collective clusters of 61 different fields through 30,000 artisans. Training for them has been given through the Jan Shikshan Sansthan, and then there is another skill development program for solar entrepreneurship, which is part of the special PM KVY project, which aims to develop skilled entrepreneurship to install solar systems across the country. The next is sponsoring the entrepreneurship awareness programs through Hindustan Lever, and this aims to target nearly 1 lakh youth under the CSR of Hindustan Lever project for offering short-term, long-term courses, increasing employability, self-reliance. And then there are new initiatives under Niti Aayog like Swavlambani. This is for entrepreneurship development programs for women. Similarly, PM Janjati Unnat Gram Abhiyan, as we already discussed, for the tribal ones. Then under the Ministry of Rural Development for rural areas, there are 3 clusters: heritage for a budget limit of 8 crore, major clusters with 3 crore and mini clusters with 1 crore, and the eligible entities includes NGOs, Panchayati Raj institutions, semi-government, private, cluster specific special purpose vehicles, and then workforce employment for the same has been announced. The next is the PM internship scheme. Through this internship program is given to nearly a segment of youth for 500 major companies and nearly 1.25 lakh youths would be part of it. Those who are not in college in the age group of 21 to 24 and they are looking for a job, they are unemployed, can apply through this scheme. And 5,000 would be the minimum stipend for 1 year that would be given, of which 500 would be compensated by the company and 6,000 initial incidental coverage would be given as a one-time expense. The idea is to boost and upskill the programs of ITI, and then there are similar programs like Swiggy Skill Initiatives, which is in collaboration with Swiggy to employ nearly 2.5 lakh delivery partners. Then there are capacity building programs for fair price shop owners, Sankalp through marginalized communities. There is Kaushal Mahotsav for creating job skill development, and some of the initiatives under the Kaushal Vikas Yojana talks about the eligible providers, beneficiaries, the monetary awards, the mobilization of the candidates, mentoring services and training services. Under Institute of Skill Development, the idea is to create a world-class skill training center. Now this would be for factory automation, AI, data analytics, mechanotronics, additive manufacturing, and then partnership through various platforms for the same has been important. And PM's vision is to make India the skill capital of the world. Now under the new education policy 2020, there have been various advocations that have been done specifically for vocational education from grade 10 to 12, for fostering onto more employability, apprenticeship programs, internship and practical based learning. So Startup India, Bhaskar, that is Bharat Startup Knowledge Access Registry, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana are some of these in the same direction. Similarly, we have the Pandit Sundarlal Sharma Center for Vocational Education under NCERT, which talks about skill training and vocational education. So there are various organizations like Kaushal Vikas Yojana, Skill India Mission, Jan Shikshan Sansthan, Sankalp Apprenticeship Program as some of those. Then the next one is Rural Women Entrepreneurship Program. Under this, nearly 48% of the population makes up women, but they contribute to only 17% of the GDP. And the idea is to boost this by adding nearly 68 million women into workforce, and increasing the labor participation of female by 50% could increase GDP by 1.5%. So some of the schemes include Mahila Kisan Saksharta Pariyojana, Mahila Shakti Kendra, Women Enterprise Development. So these aim to have farmer supports, farmer mobilization, hiring farm equipments at nominal prices, and then there are recommendations. For example, there are various challenges: suitable mentorship to be given, networking, there is limited market connectivity, providing them comprehensive packages for accessibility, information delivery, then ensuring the last mile schemes for women entrepreneurship. Now this could be through the common service centers, establishing gender segregated data to be taken up for various schemes, women owned businesses to be formalized and take them into a proper direction. Bringing in technology and development through technology, skilling is important, and scalability, accessibility, customization, personalization are some of the important aspects. Now if we talk about the budget, there has been allocation for a skill employment for 2 lakh crores over 5 years. Then there is a special budget allocation for education and skill development. A 30% increase from last year has been noted for the same. For education, there has been a platform known as Swayam, which talks about transforming the learning and teaching systems in India across all stages and levels for school, out of school, postgraduate and undergraduate students. Now if we talk about vocational education in India, formal trained workforce is only 3.7% in contrast to United States where it is 52%, Japan at 80%, South Korea at 96%. India's figure remain extremely low for formal vocational education. Now some of the sectors in which formal vocational education can be provided include cybersecurity, data science, cloud computing, IoT, robotics, 3D printing, mobile application development, game development and so on. Now again, for farming, skilled farmers have been important. So Rishi Parashara was one of the agricultural scientists who had talked about numerous complexities of farming nearly 2000 years ago, where he mentioned his works Krishi Parashara, and the works have been deep rooted with Varamihir, with Chanakya, even later with the Green Revolution. We have seen numerous developments. Still, the agriculture faces soil degradation, depletion, climate change, and low income as some of the issues. There are various types of farmings of India which have to be addressed. Skill development is crucial, must be taken into account. There are various list of programs like Mahila Kisan Sashактикаран Pariyojana, Livelihood Mission, formalization of microfood processing, agricultural mechanization, beekeeping, honey processing. So those are some of the efforts in the same direction. And then there is a submission on agricultural mechanization, where farm machinery direct benefit transfer scheme portal has been implemented under the SAM scheme, and this talks about the submission for agricultural mechanization to be brought into account. There are various targeted initiatives for rural youth like Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Yojana, Kaushal Vikas Yojana as some of those. So skilling and employability is important, giving them trainings, Kaushal Vikas के in the apprenticeship programs, digital hub platforms, self-employment training institutes are some of those. Creating demand, aligning the skills, certifying and assessing skill outcomes are again some of the important aspects that must be covered. Now, if we talk at the global level, we are having operational centers in Varanasi and Bhubaneswar to highlight the success of the initiatives, with 7 more centers in the first phase. India has signed MOUs with countries like Australia, Denmark, France, Germany, Qatar, UK for exchange, standard settings, and recognition of qualification. Now, these would be high priority destinations for workers who would be deployed to those countries, and the wages would be determined as per the global skill competitive level. So, those are some of the important aspects that we have taken into account, and we have also seen that 60% of the rural male youth do not prefer to migrate for work, looking for local employment opportunities. So boosting local employment opportunities is again a good way out for the rural local youth, the male youth who wants to stay back in the village and look for opportunities there. So those are some of the important things that we have covered in this section. In case you have any questions or queries, feel free to connect back on the number below. Thanks for joining in. Have a wonderful day ahead.